Hello the internet, my name's Laura, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing that thing that I've been teasing for a couple of episodes, and that kind of came about a little bit because of my background. For those of you who don't know, which I think is most of you, I actually have a computer science degree. I went to school for that, I did it for a couple years, and then I don't do it anymore. But anyway, my mind really works in that kind of data organization way. And so I was realizing that I was reaching a point with some of my plants where I was leaving them without watering them for a really long time. And I mean, none of them were dying, like I wasn't leaving them that long, but I felt like there was a lot of situations where they would do better if I was actually watering them more often, like as opposed to letting them get super shriveled or like that kind of thing, that it would be better if I had some sort of a schedule set for that. And so I created an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, I created this Excel spreadsheet for my plants. If you are interested in seeing my Excel spreadsheet that I have created for my plants, stick around and we will get to that. So before I get started, I do have something that I wanted to share with you guys. For those of you who have been with me for a really, really long time, pretty long time, this holiday cactus has flowered. This is the holiday cactus that I very nearly killed. I root rotted it, didn't recognize that I had root rotted it. It basically, almost all of it died, and I managed to save this piece and two other little cuttings. This is all one piece here. And now, not only is it growing new leaves and doing well, but it has flowered for me, and that really is just kind of it makes me feel like I actually successfully saved it, which, I mean, I knew that I had saved it. I mean, it's doing okay, but like that flower right there is just, I'm very, very happy to see that. If you have no idea what plant this is, that's okay. You can be happy for me. Or not happy for me, actually. It really doesn't affect me all that much. But if you'd like to be happy for me, you can be happy for me. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the best way to do this, but I actually am not aware of how to video capture stuff from off my computer. So right now I have my camera pointing towards my monitor. So, we'll see how this works. As you can see, I have my list of my plants that I have. So I got the genus, the species, and then whatever nickname that they happen to have. That is either the nickname that people have for them, like this Alsobia dianthiflora is called a lace flower. I also have my begonia. I think it's an ideal glacier, and I could be totally wrong about that, but I call it the $3 begonia. So that is the $3 begonia right there. So I have this whole list of all the plants that I have. And so apparently I have about 110. That is how many rows that I have here. I also have the location of where it is. So these plants are under my allocation light. That is one that has died. That one is on the floor. I have my hanging light, my humid table, and then all of my shelves. I have two shelves now. I have the left shelf that is in my left window, and then I have my shelf. And then I have shelf 1, 2, 3, and the top. They're not exactly in order, but at least it helps me go, okay, these are all the plants on shelf 3. And so when I'm on shelf 3 over there, I know that these are all the plants that are on shelf 3. I have their approximate sized pot. Whether or not they're in terracotta, which I wanted to whether or not they're in terracotta, and then this is the information that we're really looking at. This is how many days it's been since the date of the last water. This is how many average days I think it should be in between watering. So, and then it automatically calculates when the next day that I should water is, and then it tells me whether it's good, or as you can see down here, whether or not it needs to be watered. I also have, I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit. I have my notes column in case, I want to see all this kind of stuff. And I also have a column for the date that I got the plant. A lot of that is not filled in right now. And then the date of the last repot, which I have some dates for that. So this took me a little while to get going. And right now, basically what's happening is I put in all the estimated dates. So there's a lot of either 1 week, 2 weeks, or a month. And that's a Sansevieria. That's why it's a month, because I don't think it needs to be watered more often than that. But basically what this is saying is when I get to the point where it says, oh, this should be watered, I go and I actually look at the plant and I'm like, do you need to be watered? And if it doesn't need to be watered, where's a place that I did that? I had these on a 7-day, and then I got to the end of the 7 days and I was like, no, you don't need to be watered yet. And so I put it out to 10 days, and now it wants me to check it again. So I'm going to go check it again and see if it needs to be watered or not. And then these guys down here were at their 7 days. I actually didn't water anything yesterday because I wanted to make sure that there were some ones on here that I could actually show you guys when I was making this video. So that is basically what I've been doing. And I have no idea whether or not this is going to, like how well this is going to do. But the thing that I was finding with my watering schedule is that there'd be certain plants that I would just completely forget about. And then I'd look at them and I'd be like, has it been like a month since I've watered you? And that really just doesn't work because like I said, one of the ones that I was having this problem with is currently in the living room. There it is, my rubber tree. Where like, it seems to be pretty good never being watered, and it's why it survived so long with me because I keep forgetting about it. But I feel like it could very possibly be watered more often than it's getting watered. And so this means as long as I keep this up to date, because obviously when I get a new plant, I have to put it in here and then, put all the information and stuff. But it means that at a certain point, this will pop up and I will see it. And then I'll go, I should probably water you, or at least go and check and see if it needs to be watered. And so these average days will eventually narrow down to, oh, okay, this plant actually wants to be watered every 21 days. I don't know, whatever the number happens to be. And then, of course, it'll probably change spring to summer, but I can just change this number to whatever I want at any time. It's super easy. It's just something there to help me keep track. And I am perfectly happy if anybody's interested to, I'm going to put a copy of this up that you guys can play around with. I know this is probably not everybody's cup of tea, obviously, but my mind works really well with spreadsheets like this. This helps me keep everything organized. It helps me know how many plants I have. It helps me make notes on stuff, like I think I'd like to increase a pot size, and then I actually remember it not just when I'm staring at the plant. I actually have, all the root, or all the it means that I have all of the notes that I really would want on here. And it helps me keep, like this was, I most recently watered this with hydrogen peroxide because I'm still having pest problems on it. It is currently in quarantine along with a couple of other plants. And, that's just kind of what I'm doing. So I will leave a copy of this. But what I'm going to do right now is go over the list, and it says right now that my Peter Piper would like to be watered. It has been 9 days since it was watered, so that's the count of how many days it's been since it was last watered. And so we're going to go check on that. Okay, so I pulled my begonia Peter Piper off of the shelf where it was. It was up there on the top shelf of the left window. And by how the soil, I can tell, is still fairly wet. Well, maybe not wet. It is still damp. And so I'm probably not going to water this. I like to let them just have, my begonias just have gotten a little bit dry, where I can feel the pot is light, and then I will water them. And that seems to be working really well for me. So this guy, but now I have checked on it, and I'm going to go and update my spreadsheet. And so I'm going to show you guys that. All right, so I'm going to go to this line where I've got my begonia Peter Piper, and it's currently been 9 days, and so, it says I want to water it every 7, but I think I'm actually going to change that 11. That's going to give me 2 more days, and see, it updated the date of the next water, and then it changed this over to good. And so now I know, okay, I'm good for that, and this is going to keep counting down how many days I've got. And then I would go down to the next one, which is my string of bananas, and go and check that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take you guys through all of that because it's basically just looking at which ones need to be watered and either watering them and then updating them or not. And I actually have this currently on a Google Doc that is, so it's on Google Docs, and then I can pull it up on this computer, I can pull it up on my computer upstairs, or I can pull it up on my phone. And usually I carry my phone around with me because that's just more convenient. I'm obviously taping on my phone right now, so I cannot look this up on my phone, but I have that going, and yeah. This is definitely something that gets me really excited, and I understand it might not be super exciting for everybody else out there, but I love spreadsheets and data, and I'm like super excited about this. And so I thought there might be someone out there who is possibly data minded like I am, who will look at this and be like, oh, I want to try this. And there will be others of you who are like, just water your plants every week, or just water your plants whenever they get dry. You know, do whatever works for you. Whatever is going to help you take the best care of your plants, definitely do that thing, because yeah, that obviously is the best for your plants. And it does occur to me that you guys who have been around probably weren't aware of this shelf. I just needed another shelf, and so I ended up getting another shelf and have moved a whole bunch of plants over here. My begonias, this window is a west-facing window. It does not get a lot of light because of an overhang, and it seems to be, my begonias just are super happy in front of it. So I got this shelf. It doesn't have any extra grow lights on it or whatever. It's just, right now I have the blinds closed because otherwise there's a glare or whatever for while I'm filming, but for the most part, in the less than a week that I've had this shelf up, everything seems to be doing really well here. And I'm going to keep an eye on it. My Syndapsis pictus still looks bad because I just don't know what I'm doing with that plant, but that's okay. We'll figure it out eventually. Everything else is looking really, really good. And I have my taconite up there with a little, he got his own grow light along with my Philodendron Brazil. And kind of an overview of all my other plants. This is, you know, and it helped me to clean up this table, which was getting just completely filled with stuff. And now I just have my propagations against this window, except for these 2 plants, which don't really fit on anything. But these are all of my propagations, and yeah, so we're doing really good. So I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of what I have done in order to keep track of how I am watering my plants and keeping track of all that kind of stuff. If it inspires you, then great. If you just thought it was interesting, that is also great. If you hated it, that is also great. Either way, you found out that there are weird people like me who like to put their data in spreadsheets and keep track of everything like that. But that's okay. Okay, so if you like that video, go ahead and like that video. If you'd like to stick around, please subscribe. And thank you very much for spending some of your very valuable time with me today. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.